It is LaFonda's Heart, and welcome to the first installment of Spiritual Conversations for the Black Non-Christian. First, I have to apologize. I forgot that my camera is on auto white balance, so the image may go from light to bright because I just decided I was going to change it tonight. So if you know me or know me for a while, you know I'm all about creating safe spaces. And I realized that I really wanted to create a safe space for myself to talk about things that I do for spiritual wellness that, as a person who's not a Christian. And so I decided that I would start with this series. I'm not sure if it will be exclusively on YouTube or exclusively on Instagram, but I know it won't be on both. So probably YouTube, but we'll see. So tonight I wanted to talk about spiritual exhaustion. So last week was just too much for me. I found myself by Thursday feeling as if I just could not take this anymore. It was just too much. And by Friday, I realized that I was dealing with spiritual exhaustion. My spirit was tired. It was weary, and I really needed to pour into myself. And the way that I do that is, it's different. It varies for every person. But for me, I normally go to meditation. But I didn't feel like meditating. And so I realized that a part of dealing with spiritual exhaustion was first identifying that I was spiritually exhausted and I needed to do something to nurture my spiritual being. So the only thing that I could really do in that moment, the moment I immediately realized I was exhausted, was get up and light some incense. Sometimes when we are spiritually exhausted, we think that we have to, do this miraculous thing of events, that we have to create this super routine, that we have to spend hours upon hours of doing things to have ourselves restored. And sometimes it can start as something as little as I did with lighting some incense. And that began to bring me into a particular mind state of balance. Because normally when I light incense, it is to begin the process of mellowing down, beginning the process of centering myself and focusing on something. And this focus was, just the smell and really beginning to come to a center of peace for myself. Once I did that, I was able to do other things to bring myself, one, to center, and also to pour into myself spiritually. I have a collection of audio books that are centered on Buddhism, and I will sit and listen, to the stories, and that will help bring me to a position of peaceful posture where I can begin to pour into myself and reach out to my higher being to pour into myself as well. Some of the other things that I do is I begin to meditate. Because sometimes meditation isn't that automatic thing, and a lot of people have a misconception that meditation is. Well, for me, that's not the case. As many of you know, I manage bipolar 1 disorder. And so some nights I have racing thoughts, or some days I have racing thoughts. And, bringing my mind to a complete peace is something that doesn't always occur. And so I had wrote an article, I want to say about a year and a half ago, about creative ways to do meditation, or 6 ways to be creative with meditation. I think that's the name of it. If you're on YouTube, you can click the link in the description box. If you're watching this on Instagram, you can go to the link in my bio at healingblackwomen.com, go to blogs, and then type in meditation in the search bar, and the article will come up. And, I realized there's different ways that you can meditate. You can put on some music. This little baby, you can't see the full thing, but this little baby right here will play. I'll put on some swings. I'll put on chant. And I go into that posture of just peace so I can hear from the universe. Another thing that I do is I connect with my ancestors. I sit and I ask for their guidance, and I ask for their wisdom, and I ask for them to surround me and to strengthen me in periods when I'm not at my best. And for me, that is so important to really connect with those who came before me, those whose name I don't know, those who existed before we touched the shores of America. I make it an intentional purpose to connect with those spirits so that I can feel the empowerment that they carry. And I do this quite often before I have a big meeting, or before I'm preparing for something that's huge. I connect to my ancestors who were warriors. I connect to my ancestors who were chiefs. I connect to my ancestors who were council members, and I ask them for guidance and for their wisdom. And I ask them to pour into me, and I sit in their presence. I do other things as well. I'm a Reiki practitioner, so I work a lot on my chakras and clearing out any blockages. And I scan myself to see where there may be a blockage, and I work on that. And I utilize crystal healing as well to help me, purge the impurities that exist. So I do all of these different things to assist me in regaining my spiritual strength so that I can be guided accordingly. And you have to remember that just like any other aspect of your being, your spiritual self is so important. And the beauty about the spirit is that you don't have to be in a building to be rejuvenated. You don't have to be connected to a religion to be rejuvenated. You don't have to believe in someone's God or someone's doctrine in order to rejuvenate yourself or to be rejuvenated spiritually. And so, that's the beauty of being connected with spirit. Whatever you believe, you are able to connect to a higher source, even if you identify yourself, a version of yourself, as that higher source. Connect to the essence of who you are and grow and be nurtured and be guided. For me, my spiritual source has changed. It's no longer the spiritual source of my parents or my grandparents or their great-grandparents or their great-great-grandparents or their slave masters. It's no longer that connection. And so I have learned to connect to the spiritual source that benefits and works for me. And I ask all of you to empower yourselves and do the same. Connect to what thrives within you. Connect with what makes sense to you, and connect with what works. So I would like to thank everyone for just tuning in to this first episode. They're always going to be brief, not long at all. You can follow me on Instagram at LaQuanda's Heart. And also, thank you for everyone who's supporting the podcast, Minding Your Purpose. You can find it at laquanda.com/podcast or on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. And I also like to thank everyone for supporting Healing Black Women. You can follow us on Black Women on Instagram or Facebook. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you hopefully next Sunday. Bye.